Hello, Cherries, and welcome to Live Cherry Sunday, episode 247. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to connect the major and relative minor pentatonic scale. And this is really, really cool, and it's really handy to know because it's all related. It's 5 notes, pentatonic, and the major and minor are connected in a great way to where if you learn them all over the neck in the 5 positions, and you see the position for major, and you see how it connects to the minor, it really opens up the fretboard, and it's really important to know. And it may seem kind of basic and obvious, but unless you actually play it and get it under your fingers, it's a really, really good thing. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and I got this little loop going where it's just playing a G chord to an E minor chord, and I'm going to go through different positions just playing the cage system shape chords to show you how it works, how they connect together. So here's the loop right here. It's my little Boss RC5 looper. Check this out. So that is the idea so far. We're going to go ahead and play some licks in there, but I want to show you how that's the framework of the area we're going to play in today. So if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, give you a round of applause, ring the bell for notifications, all that groovy stuff. And so yeah, with each one of these positions here, I'll show you on the big screen right here. We have it's just a G to an E minor right here, and we got this G-shaped G. How handy is that right there, right? It goes right to an E minor right here, like that. And it's really important to practice shifting between the positions right here, and just to avoid being locked in to one shape. So as you master all 5 positions, you will naturally see how the major pentatonic patterns connect to each one of each other. So you have this G shape, and it goes to this E minor shape, which is actually an E minor shape. True. Right there. And then, in the same thing, you can go up. If you know the cage system, where it's C, A, G, E, D, well, if you go from G here if you go from the G right here, the next letter G is E, so you have this E shape, G, And what's cool about this, if you remember, the E minor shape is going to be one cage shape higher than this one. So if this is an E shape, what's after E is D. So it's going to be a D shape E minor, like this. It's a D shape E. So it's kind of good to put a name on this stuff, you know. There's a little like framework, way to remember. So it's really a pretty easy way to remember that, because it's just the next letter up after E and caged is D. So it's right there. So the next one would be, the next shape is the D shape of the G. Right? Okay. So after D would be what? C. So you have a C shape, C minor shape, E minor, like this. So when you're playing over in this area right here, you have an E minor right here. Put little chunks of it. The chord. G. So after the D, then you get back to C again right there, right? So you have a C-shaped G. After C is A. And these are all really, these are the closest possible relative minor that you can play as well. I'm not just saying this just to have the letters work out that way, it's just the way it works. So it's a G shape C shape G chord. Looks like a C chord, right? Like this. Right, slide it all the way up to G. So now it's a G with that shape. Relative minor. And that's an A shape, A minor shape, E chord. Just like that, right there. And let me know how you guys are doing out there. Any questions about this stuff? Got you a little round of applause for you. And then I think the last one right here is an A shape of the G chord. Of course, A, what's after A? G. So here's the G minor shape of the E minor. Back to the top again. G-shaped G. And it really helps to relate that back to the shapes when you want to solo. So if we were to do some solo when you go like this, check it out, here's the loop again. Top. There's a round of applause. This is so easy. This is such fun stuff right here. Hello, Ahmed Beck. Give you a round of applause. How you doing? What are you guys drinking out there? My knees hurts. Sorry to hear that. Good to see you. And I need to how to find chord easily. Okay. Well, we're going to help you with that today. You come to the right place. Awesome. I got my Italian espresso, coffee, kicking, just a couple sips left because it was an early morning for me today. I was up at 6 a.m. Eastern time, playing guitar. Isn't that great? Wake up early on a Sunday and play guitar. You know I'm drinking a cold beer. Well, I know it's beer o'clock somewhere, so that's awesome. And yeah, awesome. Okay, so let's get into this. This is such good stuff. It's such a, and did I go to school learn music? No. I'm a total sponge. I took some lessons when I was a kid growing up, and there's a huge gap in my learning. I learned pretty early. I learned a few things, and then I went without learning anything and just kind of going off of sponging and picking up stuff. But I got this thirst for musical guitar knowledge, and it's never ending. I'm not claiming I know much. This is very basic stuff, but it's important stuff to know. I didn't know this completely growing up playing guitar. I mean, I kind of had an idea of what I was doing, but the relationships between this stuff is it's so important to know, and it's so helpful. Really, it really comes down to what you do with it. So let me just show you here what we got. If we have a G chord, right? Just a regular G right here. Nope, I didn't play in church this morning either. That would be awesome though. We got a G chord right here. And we got shape 1 of the major pentatonic scale. It goes like this. Right? It's shape 1. Right? Shape 1. And all the major pentatonic is you have the root note, you got the second degree, you got the third degree, the fifth, and the sixth. And that's it. So if you have the major scale, it's all 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and root again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and root again. But we're only playing 5 of the notes. We're only going to play the root, the second, the third. We're skipping the fourth. We're playing the fifth. These are all degrees. Third, fifth, sixth. Back to the octave again. Same thing up an octave. The second, the third, the fifth, the sixth, and the root. But let me go back one. That's the first shape we actually started with right here. This G shape. It's the same thing here. Not to be confused with the E minor pentatonic. Same exact notes, only that's over the minor chord. But we're over the G, the first chord. So that's really a, they call this the fifth shape of the pentatonic. But we started with the one, but we can go back and go, here's the fifth shape. Here's the second one. Or actually the first one. Same notes, right? Same exact notes. But that'll change a little bit as we go up. Right there. So, my country. I'm not teaching guitar. Oh, where are you from? Ahmed Beck. And you can learn guitar right here. Oh, very cool. Thank you, my niece, sir. Learn the major scale. It's 7 notes. Then learn the open chords. It's all in Cherry Band YouTube channel. Right on. Thank you. So, okay. So now moving up. Now, check this out. When we go to the relative minor chord, this progression is just a G major, to an E minor. And it's the relative minor, so you could play the same shape of notes over both chords. And whether it's a G major, it's going to sound like a G major. And if it's an E minor chord, it's going to sound like an E minor because it's the same 5 notes right there. So what's cool about this is when you have this first position right here, this is also, you would call it the second position of E minor. Look, I'm now playing E minor. Oops. Play the E open. So it's the same fingering. E minor. But if I had a G chord, starting on the G, it's a G major. Very classic sounding, right? And that happens everywhere. E minor, G, same notes. Starting on G though. So pretty cool stuff the way that it's connected right there. My English is not good. That's all right. We have the language of music here, and it's universal. And that's why we're kind of putting some music to, putting some labels on it, even though it doesn't mean anything. The only thing it does mean is that it's a way to communicate music with people. You know, when I say this position and position, it's really confusing, but it's a way to kind of put things together. So it is kind of helpful. So if your English is not good, that's okay. If you have any questions, just let me know right here. And music is its own language. You're right. Exactly. Use your ears. It's just very good. Yeah, I understand. But you didn't tell me where you're from yet. Oh, we're back. My country songs. Very dancing. Yeah. Well, that's good. Dancing is good. It's always good to dance. That's the opposite of depression, right? I guess. All right. So here's where we're at. Back to major pentatonic, position 2. And it looks like this. That's the shape right there. And look, and it fits. I'm just kind of giving you some extra. It fits this shape, this D shape. This is a D shape in the cage. But it's major pentatonic, shape 2. Because here's the G. Now look, also over the E, it fits the E minor pentatonic. Oops. And it's really the minor pentatonic shape 3 right here. So it's one more up, kind of like the cage system. Here's a C shape, and it's the 3rd pentatonic, minor pentatonic. Pretty cool stuff here so far. And hello, Ozman. All right, get my new phone up and running. Good to see you. So if we go up now, another one, we go up to here, to the C shape. It's like a C chord, but it's a G. Well, here's the C chord right here. Slide it all the way up to G. Then you have this right there. Position 1, position 2, position 3. Position 3, major pentatonic. It's really important to, when you play these shapes, like you may not play this a lot. Like here's a G chord, G to an E. So you're playing this lick, it's good to know the intervals here of wherever position you're playing. Here's the G pentatonic, shape 3. Here's the root, the second, the third, the fifth, the sixth, and the root again. So you always have that. It's a classic lick. Root 6-5, root 6-5, root 6-5, 1, 2, 3. Right? Root, third. And you always have the 6 below it, the 5th, and the 3rd down there. So it's good to know that going all across the fretboard into its relative minor, A shape, E minor. And the same thing with the E minor. You have the root, minor 3rd, 4th, 5th. They're different intervals. Some of them, you have a minor 3rd, it's a minor chord. You have the 4th in there. The major doesn't have a 4th, right? So you have the 4th, you have the 5th, which both have, and you have this minor 7th, and the root again. So we go up to this next shape. This is the A shape, right there. Then you have the 4th position of the major pentatonic. To the minor, which is a G shape. Intonation's a little bit out. So that's in tune. Oops, minor. So here's the minor pentatonic. But it's the same notes. Major. G major. E minor pentatonic. G. Do that a little bit. There's a little trick there with the 5th. To an E minor. And we went through all of them, and then back to the top again. Here's the G. E minor. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool way to connect all that stuff right there. And need to find the chords by ear. Yeah. Classical guitar is good. Oh, your guitar, you have a classical guitar. Okay. And classical guitar is good. The notes are the same. Practice. Yeah. I mean, it's the same. A guitar is a guitar, right? But learning the stuff is universal. You can do it on any guitar. So that's really cool. So now you could just blaze through all the same 5 notes over this whole progression. Check this out. So I'm just blazing through all of the different patterns right there. So looking into buying a new Epiphone LP Custom. The Gibson headstock. Any thoughts? Looking to buy a new Epiphone Les Paul Custom. Well, I mean, if it feels good to you, go ahead. You know, Epiphone Les Paul Custom is a less expensive Gibson Custom, right? You know, if it's affordable, if it plays good and it sounds good, go for it. You know, it's all that really matters. If you like it, if you're in love with it. The only reason really I have these are American Fenders and Gibson is the resale value always holds up. These guitars are always going to be, they're going to go up in price and value. Whereas maybe an Epiphone or like the Mexican or the Mexican Strats or Tellies, whatever, they seem to just decline. But it doesn't matter. It's just a value thing. As far as playing and everything, if you just want to play it, and that's all we should be thinking about anyway, then it's a great deal. Get it. If you love it, it's all good. So hopefully that was a good answer. Ozman. Are you playing solo? Well, right now I'm playing solo, but I have my looper I was playing along with. You know, in the background, that's the this thing right here. We have a little rhythm and chord that I created right there with the two chords. It's so good to have a looper, something that'll keep you honest, keep you in time, and something you can work on chord progressions instead of needing to have someone, a human being, come over and play rhythm for you. Good morning, Roger Charlie. Man, yes, awesome. But if you love that Epiphone Les Paul, man, if it sounds good, it looks good, who cares where it's made or whatever? As long as it plays good and it sounds good, that's all that matters. Save your money, you know. All right, so let's get back over to here for a sec. And any questions about this stuff, let me know. So your clock. Wow, so it's late. It's late there at night where you are. So it's 24 would be 12 a.m. right? So 4 hours there. Yeah, I guess it's late. 9 o'clock, 9 something. I don't really know my military time so well as I should know it. So the thing you have to understand here is that these two scales share the exact same notes. The only difference is the tonal center, the starting notes of it. That's it. So this note right, this chord G, G is the starting note. E minor, same notes. But I started on E. Or I could even start on G, doesn't matter. As you already noticed here, look, I just played the same scale over both chords. Check it out. G, E, E, G, E, same. So, you know, it's pretty basic stuff, but it's really important. And it's really cool to take this and just move it all around. That's really the whole beauty of it, is to play it all over the place. And, you know, it's an important thing to be able to do that. So as you can see, both of the scales are the same 5 notes, and the difference is created by which note your ear perceives as the home base or the root, which is, the chord, because the chord rules. And you could switch between major and minor sounds by emphasizing different root notes with the same set of notes is what we're doing. And so exact same notes, and the relative minor, which is what this is, it's built off of the 6th degree of the major scale. And I'll tell you that in a second after I have a swig of my Italian espresso coffee. So if I played the major scale, G major, the 6th note right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is E. So that's how I have my relative minor. If I continued up the G major scale, starting on the E, and played E to E, that's the relative minor. It's just E minor. Or it's the E Aeolian mode. That's the E Aeolian mode. But we're not even playing the whole scale, we're just playing pentatonic. So we're taking out notes. We're only going to play the root, the minor third, the 4th, the 5th, the 7th. And that goes for everything up there. So that's how we know where the relative minor is. So no matter where we are on the fretboard, if we're here, or if we're here, or if we're here, here's a G. If I go up 6 notes of the G major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, here's E, relative minor. But an easier way is to just go down 3. Go down a minor third. So here's G. So if you go down the scale, down the G major scale, you got the root, the 7th, the 6th. So that's everywhere. Just like here. Minor. Or if I was here, E minor. Here, E. E minor. Or if I'm here, E minor. Or if I'm here, G, E minor. Back to the top. That's a terrible sounding one right there. Just intonation. Or from up here again, back to the top. G. So it's the relative minor. So any questions about this stuff, let me know. Hello, Days 3474 from France. All right, give you a round of applause. All the way from France. Wow, that is so cool. France. Am I saying it right? Butchering it. I know it's France or France. I got to put a little France in there, right? A little growl. Don't laugh too hard at me. Or you can laugh all you want. It's better than crying. When people are laughing at you, just remember, it's better than crying. So I have 4 looper pedals. Wow. That's a whole lot of looping going on right there, my niece. Do you use them all at the same time? I actually have 4 myself. 2 of them I've never used. And I used to use the RC1 forever, and then I got the RC5. The other ones are the Dittos. I was going to make videos on them, so I bought them to make these videos, but I never got around to it. So I never even plugged them in. Believe that. What a waste, huh? Maybe I'll get to that sometime. But Osman's saying, still $1,500. $1,500 for the Epiphone Les Paul. Okay, well, that's a good price. I mean, Les Paul, is like almost $3,000 these days, right? You get a used one maybe for 20 something. You know, still, that's still a lot of money, 1,500. Yeah, good call on that. You know, you can find some used Les Paul customs or standards for maybe 22, 23 in places. You know, so you have to weigh that decision on. Usually there's something a little wrong with it, you know, not much, but still a good deal for Les Paul. You have a Mexican telly, that's amazing. Yeah, that's so cool. Some of those guitars are just great. Some of the best guitar players. Who was it playing this copy? Doesn't matter. It's all in the player, right? So, dazed. Oh, I don't know what that means in no matter with your pronunciation. Okay. No matter with your so it doesn't matter. It's okay. I'm taking that as that's what it means. And no matter. There you go. This no matter. That's cool. All right. So yeah. All right. So check this out. Continue on this a little bit here. A lot of bit. Actually, on a Sunday, beautiful Sunday here in Brooklyn, New York, and in France, and wherever you're tuning in from. And you know, let's see. So you know, you could think of the major and relative minor pentatonic scales as two perspectives on the same set of notes. And I'm reading this off here because I wanted to get this right. This connection allows you to move seamlessly between major and minor tonalities while soloing and improvising. That's what I was just doing. And I was just thinking, take a pass at, you know, create a loop where it's just like G major, E minor, and just play the same 5 notes all over this fretboard. Play this pentatonic scale. And don't worry about what position you're in. Just the only thing you gotta concern yourself with is think about, okay, is it on the G or is it on the E? And even sometimes you don't even have to do that. But sometimes, you know, if you're on the G and you're playing E harmonic, if you're playing the minor, E minor pentatonic, you know, you might land on this, the third, or the fourth over the G. And you might sit on that a while, it might not be so great. Or that's gonna be good, the E is gonna be, it's gonna sound like a 6th over that. It's gonna sound like this. So sometimes, you know, you go by ear, and if you know it's a G, you're gonna hit target notes. The 3rd, the 5th, the root. When it goes to the E, you're already on a target note. You're on the minor 3rd of E. You're on the 5 right here. But if that goes to a G, you're on the 3rd of G. That's okay. That's safe. Just listen to it. G. E. Back to G. And I'm thinking as I'm riffing, I'm thinking, okay, E's coming up. I gotta land somewhere on a good E note while I'm riffing. You know, sometimes that's not that good right there. I want to phrase it to an E minor, then to a G. So I could see I'm going to target maybe this G note to the G. Maybe I'll target this E note next right here. You know? Play some double stops right there. A lot of tune down there. It's hard to get intonation up here perfectly. You have to fret it just perfectly. So, yeah. All right. Hello, my knees hurt. Let's come back to earth here for a second. I play guitar, looped, bass looped, and then play drums. Oh, that's cool. Wow, so that's like a little bit different of the way I loop. I just create I kick in the tempo, pretty standard beat that I have all the time. I get the beat and I'll just lay down a chord progression over it, and that's it. I keep it real simple. And the good thing with this RC5 is that you could store like 99. You got 99 loops, but ain't one. So I could, with my MIDI pedal that I have, a little MIDI pedal, I could switch once the progression of the loop is complete. If I switch it and before it completes, it'll switch to the next loop. So I can go between a few different scenes, is actually what it's called. All right. And Dazed. All right. 2018 Gibson Les Paul at my local for $8.99. Mine is a 2018 Gibson Les Paul for $8.99. Wow. Is that what you bought one? Or you saw one there? Because that's a pretty darn good deal right there. Any Les Paul for $8.99 is great. And yeah, my Telecaster, I was going to use my SG today, but it was too dark for the shirt. Seriously. You couldn't really see it. I'm like, with this black shirt, you couldn't even see the SG really. So I was like, this one pops, you know. And it plays great too, so I'm not missing anything there. 30 grand. 53 Les Paul. Yeah, I got 4 of those in the back. No, kidding. Okay. So, yeah, it's really good to learn these shapes right here. If you don't know them already. So check this out. I'll run through them again here. G, shape 1, or G, pentatonic, position 1. And it's also, if you played the E minor, it would be position 2 of E minor. It's the E. So it'll be like this. Same notes. Oops. Right there. So here's E minor, position 2. Sorry, E minor, position 2. E minor pentatonic, position 2. Because a lot of people, you get stuck in this right here. And it's E minor. But why not bring it up? You want to get out of the box? Bring it up to here. An easy way to remember that is to know where your E's are. Because you may think of, well, I know this G major pentatonic. That's G. But inside here is E. And you play this chord a lot, right? So why not play the pentatonic here? So moving up to here, we did this one already. Did this one? Did we do this one yet? Position 5. We'll just start here. Position 5 of G major pentatonic, position 5. It's also E minor, position 1. So you have that 5, then 1, and then here's the next one. And also, so you know, this position 5 is also a G shape. This E minor, it's an E minor shape. This position 1 pentatonic, it's an E shape, G, going to a E minor, D shape, D minor shape right there. Okay, so the next one, position 2, sorry. 5, it's down there, 1, 2, it's like this. So that's the G, major pentatonic, position 2. Know where the G's are though. Here's the chord. It's a D shape. Look, here's the like a D. Here's the D. Slide it all the way up. And here's where your thumb would hang over. Here's the D, right? You have your thumb hanging over on the D. Same thing here. But you can play it like this. And here's the scale over. That's where it ends, on the second degree right there. Now if it was minor, the relative minor, here it is right there. So it's minor, and it would be the shape 3, because it's one more. It's stupid that the position numbers are different here. That's just what it is. So it would be E minor pentatonic, position 3. Oops. Here's the chord that goes with it. It's like a C shape. Just like that. The shape right there. And here's the minor. So once again, you're branching out of the box of E minor. Play it up here. 1, the second, the minor third, 4th, 5th. Nope, sorry. The 1, the minor third, the 4th, the 5th, the 7th, root. So if you're up here in the middle, you're like, oh my, I want to play E minor pentatonic. Instead of going down here or up here, well, you're already here, and it sounds different here. You're right in the beefy part of the middle of the neck. Listen to how different that sounds than this. So if you're playing this E and you want to go, sounds different here. You got this cool area for like licks. You know, it's just a different area right there to play. All right, we're gonna finish them up. We got a couple more in here, but I want to see how you guys are doing over there. And I'm looking at a local guitar store webpage. You see a guitar $7.99 Les Paul in Portland, Oregon. Oh my goodness! You know, you never know. Sometimes people are getting rid of their stuff. You know, a lot of stories about people are just maybe need some cash. I know I've done it a few times in the past. Got rid of 2. I was just thinking the other day about 2 guitars that I let go about 15 years ago. That at least one of them I'd love to have back. I got to run, Jerry. My knees hurt. Well, thank you for spending some time here with me. My knees hurt. Very, very cool. I'll see you on the flip side. The double bends for days. Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's keep going right here. If you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So we got a couple more up here. And where do we end up? We were playing here when this shape right here. So we got this 1, 2nd position, 3rd position. But this minor to the relative minor. So this is E minor shape 4. And it's an A shape, and it's like this. Same exact notes, same position. And it's a great position in the minor. Like this one, if you only learn one more area to play minor pentatonic, it should be this one. There's some cool stuff there, especially in a blues context. You got all those licks like stuff like that. But it's an A minor shape, and it's just the pentatonic right there. Same exact notes, but E minor. So here is the G pentatonic, G major pentatonic, shape 3. E minor pentatonic, shape 4, the same shape. Okay, so moving up, we have this shape 4 of the G major pentatonic. It's like this. And here's the chord that goes with it. Looks like an A shape. And it's very symmetrical. If you can see, it's like a whole step on the first 2 strings. The next 2 strings, it's a minor third. And the next 2 strings, it's a whole step. So you have these 2 of the exact 4 strings are the same shape. Oops, what's going on with this string? It's hanging off the neck almost. Then you have 2 minor thirds right here. So you have, which is really cool. Cool shape, cool area. And there's the G chord, the relative minor. See, going down to minor third. G shape. That's the E minor, shape 5. E minor pentatonic, shape 5. Right there. And then back to the top again. G. So really, really cool stuff. If there are any questions about this stuff, let me know. Having a good time here today. Rocking out some pentatonic stuff right there. And it's a good practice to, you know, gotta go. All right, Ozman. Have a good one, my man. Round of applause. It's a really good practice to know these and kind of really, really dig into them. You know, like, let's see. If we go ahead and put this on right here, I'll dig into some of the positions right here. It's back and forth between these 2 positions. This next area. Very cool. Thank you guys so much for hanging out here with me today. And this, I have no doubt you could play Mark Knopfler, Gilmour, and Hendrix. Well, you know, I've definitely played a bit of all three of those before. There was a time where I played the whole solo in and what's the big one for the Sultans of Swing. I learned it for this band one night, and I did a pretty good job at it. It's a tough one to learn all those licks, that's for sure. You just got to get that quacky sound, you know, that Strat pickup sound in there, you know. Get that feeling. Gilmour, I played a bunch of Pink Floyd, and Hendrix, I played a few Hendrix, and so it all comes together, that type of stuff, you know. But I tell you what, those three guys you just mentioned right there all know this fairly well. I would say better than fairly well. It's something that, you know, it seems very, very common, but not everybody spends the time to kind of systematically organize it in a way. And I think the good way, and what I did today is I gave the major pentatonic, the major pentatonic position number, the relative minor pentatonic, and that minor pentatonic position number, also the chord shape over the major pentatonic, the chord shape over the minor pentatonic, a way to systematically know that it's really just a number or a letter higher. So if positions kind of confuse you like they do me, it kind of works out that way. Like the G shape is going to be an E shape next C G in the caged what do you call it, acronym. And then the position numbers are just go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So major is going to be 1, but the minor is going to be 2 of it. So it's all systematic stuff, and it's pretty cool to know. So in the back of your head, it's stuff that's just all there. But at the end of the day, it's all about making this sound good. And hopefully I did some justice. Last week, live, I outkicked my coverage, so to speak, and I played something that was a little bit, not above what I know, above the shoulders, but below the shoulders physically. I wasn't able to play like as fast as like what I wanted to do and cleanly. And I hit a bunch of bad notes, and I'm sweating it now. But it's over. It's in the past. So you got Bobby. Hello, Bobby. Good to see you. Give you a round of applause. I will mention that I do have a guitar course. It's called the Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. And there's 4 topics in there. Fretboard memorization, where I show the easiest way to memorize the fretboard. Find all the notes easily all over the neck. I go through the circle of fifths, which is basically all the keys of music in a circle that's in intervals of fifths. And it shows a really good way of playing through all the different keys and seeing how music works that way. And I have graphs on that as well. And I go into blues soloing, which really gets into the basics like vibrato and string bending and how to play 12-bar blues, different types of it. And there's lots of PDFs and backing tracks for that as well. Then I go through the cage system, which shows kind of like what I did today, but I do it in like 2-5-1 progressions all over the neck. So check that out, the Essential Skills Collection for Guitar. In the description, there's a link. So thank you very much for that. And so all right. And Bobby, you and Mr. Esposito played great together. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did an impromptu jam at the San Gennaro's Feast. It happens every year here. It's on Mulberry Street in Manhattan and Little Italy. And yeah, I got up and one of the greatest guys and greatest guitar players in the world, Fortune Esposito and his family. Jenna is a singer. She sings at it every year, I think for 15 years or something. And they invited me up to do a tune with them this year. And I didn't even have a guitar or anything, but they brought an amp up. Fortunately, an extra guitar. I jumped in. We played Johnny Be Good, and it was a lot of fun, you know, to play that with Fortune, and it's really, really cool. There's a video of that on my Facebook page, so if you check out Facebook/Jerry Cherry, you'll see that that video from last week. All right, so thank you guys for hanging out. I love you. Thank you, Days. Thank you, Bobby. And all you people for hanging out on a Sunday. Now we're going to enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm going to go watch some football. It was a close game in Ireland with my Steelers, so we got to check on that. So I love yous all. And here's what I want you to do. Remember this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? You have to, where is it? Right here. I have a little note right here. And I have no idea where it is. Where is this? Oh boy. This is what you call live right here. Remember, be cool, be kind, and be cherry. And if you want to see another video on the 5 positions of the minor pentatonic scale, 3 notes per string. Actually, it's not 3 notes per string, it's the minor pentatonic. I'll put that video right up there. So enjoy. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy your week, and be cool, y'all. Ciao.